Hey everybody, Bryce here. Fifth Family Garden. I know I haven't really posted much on everything of what I got going on in a while, but kind of want to give some updates. This year I've done a lot of my seed starting indoors and everything else, and it's been time to bring a lot of stuff out, so I wanted to show you some of it and then show you also what I started in the ground, and then a few things that I did buy because, hey, you know, I got really good deals on it. But just so you can kind of see, this is my garden, just a quick little scan through. I'll walk you through it all. But the soil that I use in my beds is mushroom compost. Usually just have to top it off each year. And in this bed here, you'll see that I got garlic, and then this half is tomatoes. These are all seed starts inside. I got some that didn't do too well, so I'm gonna see if they can maybe revive a little bit. And then I got a few more that I'll need to plant out later. One interesting thing I noticed is, I don't know if you can see this, but I got some little volunteer tomatoes growing up in my garlic. So any of y'all know if I can leave those in there or not, I will gladly take your response. The garlic I planted back right after Thanksgiving, so it's shooting up really good. I got some more here, some beets and some radishes and some carrots going. This is gonna be my hodgepodge bed. I'm starting some new things, trying out some new things. I got some seeds popping up with some herbs and everything else, but got some plants that I did pick up from the store. And I do this because there's only, I only use like one plant a year of Tabasco and jalapenos, and then the big beefsteak tomatoes. I only use one of those, so no point in buying seeds if I'm only growing one plant. They'll go to waste. This year, this is my hinged hoop house, which you can see has some water in it because it's been way too hot for me to cover this up. But this is all my salad greens and everything else. Got a really good jump on it. Now I'm gonna have to convert that into a shade cloth, and that way I can bring it back down, and this stuff will last me a lot longer. I picked up some Brussels sprouts and some broccoli and some cauliflower. I got a 4-pack for 50 cents, so I kind of couldn't turn that down. Got a few onions in here. Got one more jalapeno plant, but that's because I'm trying to do the big jumbo ones for stuffing. That there is a eggplant. It's all my squash and zucchini going across the back there. I like to run it up the trellis. It tends to work out quite well that way. Some different potatoes growing here, little purple ones and the fingerlings. I do this because it's a lot easier to get in and get stuff out of them, and doesn't take up other room for other things. So here I got some beans and some edamame peas and sugar snap peas, and then some different types of Swiss chard. I planted all those by seed out here. Same with the kale, garlics from last year. This red Russian kale that I got going, that was a volunteer plant. I've actually found it in between my beds, so I just moved it up into the bed and good to go. Some of the Swiss chard there, those are volunteers from last year as well. Got some pepper plants that didn't do the transition too well, so hopefully they'll kind of revive themselves and get going. Some more Brussels sprouts. So I'm thinking this is some of my spinach, Malabar spinach from last year, just kind of popping up all over, so I'm gonna have to relocate some of that. But I got a lot of pepper plants that just are sprouting in this bed because this was my pepper bed last year, so I'm trying to figure out what they are and everything else. And then I'm gonna have to come through and start thinning some of this out, some of my cantaloupe and squashes and everything else, some cucumbers and all that, kind of the same over here. So I have to come back and thin some of this out as well, some beans, everything. But that's what I got. I always tend to, anything I'm gonna do from seeds, I tend to overplant. That way I can come back, thin it up a little bit. But the biggest thing is all the volunteer stuff that I got going. I just kind of waiting to see what it is and go from there. One of the biggest things, as you can kind of see right here, these bean plants are just popping up everywhere in the middle of my garden. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on those and pulling out what I don't need and everything else. Over here, I'm still kind of working on this. It's all new stuff. I need to get it covered over. I got some asparagus. My grapevine's going. I'm going to give it a go again this year, but I always end up with some type of fungus on it. So if anybody's got any recommendations for that, let me know. I'm 3 years running with fungal issues. Got a blueberry plant over there, and my blackberry is just blooming. I'm all sorts of happy about that. This box and this box here, those are my sweet potato boxes. And if you stick with me throughout the year, I'll kind of show you what I do with those. I'll take these down to just the bottom 2 boards, plant my sweet potato slips in there, and then just kind of work it up as I go, as the season goes along. So, like I said, it's a quick tour. Wanted to show you all this. I'm going to be setting up the, the Florida weave for my tomatoes this year, kind of give that a go, see how that works. I'll let y'all kind of take a look at how I do that as I get it set up, and then I'll keep you posted on what some of these peppers end up being. Just really don't know what they are yet, so it'll be interesting. But like I said, these are definitely some Malabar spinach, so I'll need to get those moved over closer to the trellis so they can run up it. Really good heat tolerant spinach. If you live in a hot climate, you know, you'll definitely want some of that. And I got to put some cages over these two. These are Aunt Molly ground cherries. Luke, I want to say, over in my gardener, I tried these seeds from you. These things are awesome, but the tomato plants get huge. I got to cage these things up just to contain them. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. Give it a thumbs up. Pop in some comments here and there. I'm always looking to take advice. Any of the help I can get, I'm gladly taking it. Thanks and have a good night.